You are watching a master at work.
DjSalMoney.
You seen the title, legs. Don't get scared, don't get all nervous. Yeah, it's that time. Hopefully you ate, and if you didn't, you wrong. Let's get busy. So if you think about max depth, right, on a squat, or what a good squat should look and feel like, it should pretty much hit the whole leg, right? The entirety of the leg. Quad, outer sweep, glutes, everything else like that, right? But in order to get that maximum depth, I have to understand where my feet are and how my upper body should shift down into my legs. It's not just take weight off and boop, right? Because the number one thing that you'll see is that when people get down in the bottom, is this portion of the back does that shit, right? Almost looking like they wiping their ass with earth, right? So I don't ever want to be here, right? That's why when we warm up in this machine, we already start in that barrel position here, right? So with hold and tension here, I'm in that same position as if the bar is on my back, and I'm opening up and squeezing, right? I'm squeezing glute as if I was squatting. So I get that pull on glute here by shifting forward in my upper body, open. There's the idea, right? For some reason that this machine is, it has a name. It's the sus machine, right? Because men are just so masculine now, out of nowhere, right? This is a machine that is neglected by a lot of guys because they're not comfortable training adductors, or they're not comfortable training glutes. You get out of that frame of mind and train your adductors, right? Watch the dimension that your leg starts to take, because it can't just be leg extension, leg press. You have to understand the makeup of the leg in its entirety. When we talk about like compromising that lower back, what you'll notice when guys and girls get into the machine, there's always this gap here, right? Big ass gap. And so at the bottom, as long as this gap is maintained, out of the bottom, my lower back is literally going like this. Like, I won't fail you. To avoid that, and you'll see it's the same thing on a barbell squat, where at the very bottom, guys and girls shift, right? There's this, almost like this swooping effect, like a humpback, not even a humpback whale, like a dolphin kind of thing that happens with the back. And so the best way to avoid that, as I said, is instead of being here with my squat, right, my core is pushed in. So I'm not here and going into the bottom, right? I'm pushed in. So I'm hips forward, pushed in, sit down, right? So instead of this, right, gap here, you go to the bottom and you press with a gap. I want you to push your abs against your back. So you're all the way back against this pad, sit into the squat, press. You'd be surprised how much weight you can do when your form is correct, right? And not saying that having the gap is wrong, right? But you know damn well your back hurt. You know damn well your back hurt. And you keep going up and say, oh, my body will get used to it. I'll get used to it. All it takes is that one time. One time. So it's the same shit here on a barbell squat, but just understanding that it's free weight as opposed to machine. The number one issue with that lower back being compromised, right, is when guys and girls find their feet and they're strong and sturdy up here, right? When they shoot down to the bottom, right, because they're strong and locked in here, locked in the lat, when they go down, this is literally what happened. And I hope you can see that. So it's big ass brace here, this, right? And that looks good. That looks good because it looks strong, right? But what you're not noticing is that this is curved inward, right? And as opposed to it being curved inward, what I would promote is being a bit forward in my shoulders, finding those legs so my knees are open and I'm folding into my squat. At no point is my abdomen doing this, right, where I'm pushing abdomen out. I'm always abdomen back, sit, squat. And the heavier and the heavier and the heavier guys and girls go, you notice another issue that you notice is that at the very bottom, in order to get that weight up, that shit happens. They twerk out of the bottom, literally out of the bottom to get this shit up. And you know what I'm talking about. And it's a good feeling if the weight does come up. The difference between heavy weight going up and my quads being fucking flooded is training with intention. I am intentionally massaging quad with weight that's on my back, and it doesn't take 4 or 5 plates to do that. You know that your leg day is centered around a heavy ass squat, and you hit it or you don't hit it, go through the rest of your workout, no pump, chances are the training should switch up a bit, right? It's the biggest punch to the gut, especially when you fail, right? Because it's different if you knee buckle and you get it up. You're like, shit, I just did that. But when you knee buckle and you fail, it's kind of like, what the hell am I doing? Literally, what am I doing? It don't even take that much weight, right, to get busy. But if you're guilty, you guilty. I've been there, so you know what I mean? I understand hack squats, and we talk about allowing the squat to be quad focused. When I take weight off, it's up to me to find my feet, and by finding my feet, I mean, if anything feels off, re-rack it or change your foot placement. But if being close, narrow in my feet here, if I can't do this and sit in my squat, get wider. And it doesn't mean that the feet necessarily have to go wider. It could be toes shifting out, toes shifting out. So my heels are still closer together, right? But now my toes are shifted out, so now my knees can open, right? And when I brace, as I prepare to go into the squat, if you look at my core, right, with my elbows pinned here against my lats, my core is out in front of me. And this is what I don't want, right? I need to brace, and by bracing, I'm here, right? It's the smallest adjustment from being here pushing this in so that I'm flat, right? My spine and it's almost like my abs are shooting through me, right? Shooting through to this back pad. And in that, I keep that. I never lose that. Squat. When people deadlift, they tell you almost like you're rutting your feet in the ground, like screwing your foot down, and then you lift. One of the most common tips that you'll get is to leg press or leg drive right out of the bottom. So understanding, like when I'm squatting, I'm pressing through my feet constantly. Just like with upper body, I'm pressing through my hands so that my triceps can hit. That's the same exact concept. The way that I think about it is like, if my leg is now my arm and I'm doing a tricep push down, right? That forearm meets bicep, push down. Forearm meets bicep, push down. So with my squat, it's hamstring meets calf, press through my feet. Hamstring meets calf, press through my feet. Now there are times where maximum depth doesn't have to be achieved, right? Depending on the movement. You'll see guys do things like box squats, V squats, and everything else like that. So those things have their place, but for so many people on something as simple as a Smith or a hack squat, don't understand this. They don't know what this feels like, right? And then to press out of the bottom. And the number one reason for that is the weight. For a lot of guys and girls, ego is the reason why you have a shit workout. So for girls on something like a squat or a hip thrust, if I don't hit that weight, like I'm so mad, like the rest of the workout is trash. For guys, bench press, if I didn't hit that 1 rep max, shit workout. Like I'm upset. I don't want to be talked to. But even if you hit that weight and you didn't achieve a pump, right? And we're talking to bodybuilders, right? If at that point you didn't hit what you were intending, right, which was chest, let's say for guys, your chest should be pumped. But we have to just, we got to get rid of the whole, like, the weight is everything. Because guys and girls will 4 or 5 plate here and go, no depth, no depth. Whew. Bands and everything else like that. You know what I mean? Strapped, weight, spotters. It's not necessary. Get comfortable at the bottom, at the very, very bottom of it. I could take the weight off of here and sit at maximum depth. If you don't know what maximum depth feels like, that doesn't mean make the weight go up. Find where that's at, because your 3-4 plate squat could be a 1.5 plate squat. So there's tons of room to grow. So just like my squat, right? The ability to get these knees to open, right? So when I leg press, I'm never knees shooting into my chest, right? I'm allow my knees to open up and fall into my delt, into my front delt. So instead of the leg press being here, right, where this is still quad, right? But when we squat and we achieve max depth, right, that glute gets involved. So that's essentially what I want here too. And so to get that, I'ma just, instead of being so knees forward, right, knees into my chest, I'm gonna allow the knees to open up and shoot out. And I'm relaxing the upper, go. So instead of my press being here, right, where I'm just quad, I get that depth and now I feel that pull on glute here, right? Because my knees are shooting to my delts. So pull on glute there, press through quad. Pull on glute here at the bottom, press through quad. So I'm not so jammed, right, with my knees here. I'm opening. Good. It's all the little things, right? It's all the little adjustments. Yes, the knees forward jamming into my chest is still quad, right? But I'm trying to get the whole leg. The same thing about compromising that lower back on like a hack squat. The same principle would apply on a leg press, especially like these angled ones, because there's the trajectory of it is shooting down into me, right? A lot of people will be butt forward high up in the seat, but what that does is allow this lower back, if you come around, my lower back is shifted forward out of the seat. And so as this weight comes to me, quads grab, but lower back grabs and braces, right? And that's what I don't want. All I need to do to prevent that is before I even unrack this thing, is find my feet and shift, right? Shift all of that weight back into the seat. So now I'm upright in my chest, right? And upright in my head, but I'm relaxed. I have the ability to be calm, right? So I have the ability to be calm here. Now when I take weight off, it's just about letting the weight sink into my hips and press. Because one of the top 2-3 ego things on leg day is every damn 45 in the gym being on the machine and this. No depth. No depth out. No depth out. All the screams in the world peeking out, see who the fuck, who's looking. Who's looking. You do 17 quarter reps and get up. And your legs look like my daughter's, and she's 2. So it's a very humbling thing to really assess your ego and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I should share some of the 45s, right, with other people that are walking around looking for some. Use weight that I can handle, achieve depth, and then press out of the bottom. So, you know, or not, just keep doing your little quarter reps and being that guy. Don't be that guy. There's a food chain called Raising Cane's, right? And they serve chicken fingers and fries, everything else like that. Food's fire, sauce is crazy good, right? But if you ever been to Raising Cane's after like 11 p.m., especially on like a weekend, you pull up to the drive-thru, what you'll notice is there's all these cars with little ass kids. Honda Civics tricked out, Toyota Corollas, Honda Accords, just everything, right? And they're not getting food. They're pulling up in the drive-thru like it's a damn car meet and they're just kicking it. That's what the gym is after like 8 p.m. Not saying that there is anything wrong with hanging out with your friends and everything else like that, but I think people forgot the real reason we're here is to train. The real reason we're here is not to be seen, it's not to hang out, because we can do that outside of this place. So if you're just gonna come here and be in the way of the people that actually want to get busy. You sitting around on machines and shit, taking up cables, taking up everything, and just talking and shooting and shit. Get the hell out the way. Go to Cane's. Literally go to Cane's, and when we leave, right, the people that want to train, when we leave, then pull up. But this is why I like training earlier in the day. You don't got to worry about that. It's the older folks or the people that actually like to train. But then also when you're a dad, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to be a dad and go later and deal with it. We're gonna wrap this one up, right? Because I gotta get back to the crib. And next leg day, we'll dive into a bit more of the glutes, a bit more of the hamstrings and the calves. But we're gonna close this video out with an announcement. Holy shit, a couple announcements. One, I think the main question that I get is, do I offer programs, coaching, and everything else like that? I'm gonna let you guys know right now, I'm currently in talks to try to develop something for my followers, right? That want to take that next step with me personally. And I'm trying to do something where you can have 24/7 access to me, actually talk to me, actually send me videos, actually text me, where I can send you voice memos. You can send me form videos and everything else like that. And I can literally critique you myself, workouts and everything else like that, the whole nine, right? But I want it to be as in-depth as possible. The Instagram shit and the TikTok shit is free, and that will always be free. But in terms of doing shit like giveaways, doing things where I can fly you guys out to train with me one-on-one, or do things where I can fly to you and train in your hometown, who knows, right? But doing all these things where I can do giveaways, where I can train with you in person, where you can come to me and train. Who knows, down the line, when we do things like going to the Arnold, going to the Olympia, I could invite someone, right, for a day or both days, right? I'm in talks in developing that. So just be patient, it's coming, but it's meetings and everything else like that. With that being said, number 2, we going to the Olympia. Holy shit. Right, we're going to the Olympia this year, out in Orlando, Florida. I will be there I think the 1st to the 5th or the 2nd to the 5th or something like that. Everybody that's going, I'll see you there. I'm super excited. I can't wait. I will be with the One Up Lifestyle at the One Up Lifestyle booth. I'm so excited to meet everybody, shake hands, take pictures, shoot the shit, talk shit about people, but not really, right? It's all in good taste, all in good spirit. You can roast the shit out of me, I don't care. Just know I'm coming with that heat. I'm always ready. You got jokes, I do too. And I think of my shit on the fly. Outside of that, man, I don't think there's any other announcements. As always, this video was sponsored by my 2 sponsors, Primeval Labs and the One Up Lifestyle. Code SalMoney for both will save you some money at checkout. Until then, y'all be safe, y'all be smart, and don't do anything that I wouldn't do, which is a lot, because you do a lot of stupid shit, don't you? Peace.